What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. We're back talking about some Rugby 24 news today. We still haven't got anything official from the guys over at bigantstudios, so we're still doing our little digging in the dirt as we have been for the last, year or so, probably by the time this game is actually going to come out. We have some new stuff to take a look at today, courtesy of some wonderful people over on the Discord server. For anyone who doesn't know, the Rugby Gaming Network is live. Myself, Bears Gamer, Crashball TV, and SammyX2 have all set up a Discord over there for all you rugby gaming fans, and you guys are better than us at this sometimes, and we've come across a couple of really fun different pieces of information that you guys have gone out and found. Now, Bears did put out a video saying that we found out a new license had been confirmed. It was basically someone in this Discord has let us know that there is a Spanish website that is actually running the game for sale, and they have some information that did not get covered on any of the other sites. Now, of course, Bears did a great job on that video, and then people started looking further and further into more information, and we have another site to have a look at, which fills me with confidence that when we get more than just one site, it begins to fill me with a bit of confidence that this might be going somewhere. So this is now Extra Life. So we've now got two sites, the one the Bears covered. This is a brand new site that also covers the same sort of information about the game coming out. So if you want to be first to know about some of the gaming news, get over to the Discord server. I'll drop it down in the description for anyone who hasn't joined in yet with it. But Rugby 24, this is Extra Life, not a site I've ever used. Never going to tell people to use a site that they've never used it before. Of course, it's not an official site. It hasn't come from Big Ant. It hasn't come from Nacon as of yet. But there are a lot of interesting things to have a look at. Now, they haven't dived in to too much. They are running this game also slightly more expensive than some other places. No new box art. They've still got the standard box art, although I don't actually think I've ever really seen this image of the Sideways game before. Their pictures for the game are all from Rugby 22. They are all from the launch, so we'll take that with a bit of salt, the fact they're still going to be using a lot of that old advertising stuff. But the stuff that we should be interested in is in the description section. Now, the description section gets very, very interesting because, of course, we have the standard, jargon that we've had from the start, but we have some new characteristics. So we start out with a truly global game with over 130 international team licenses, including for the first time all the major nations competing in the Rugby World Cup. So we sort of felt like that was where it was going to be going. We knew they were getting a lot of the World Cup licensing. It's an official World Cup tying game. They have stated there again that 130 international team licenses, not just team licenses. So it looks like we're going to be getting a lot of the international teams. Over 10 licensed local tournaments, including French Top 14 and D2, Major League Rugby, which is what Bears has covered in his video, and United Rugby Championship, an extensive career mode that immerses you in your story. So that's fun. So it's the first mention of MLR actually being in this game, which is fun to know. Cross-platform support for matchmaking and content sharing. Awesome. I love that. I want to have cross-platform in the game to give us a few more games to actually find online rather than just you and one other person still playing on the same platform. Rugby 24 presents the biggest rugby tournament, the Rugby World Cup. Okay, that's just, again, there is the World Cup in the game. Detailed scenes that place you at the time of the Rugby World Cup. Now, I will mention this is another Spanish website that has picked this up. So by scenes, I assume they're going to mean things like the cinematography or maybe scenes in-game. Maybe we'll get some in-game cinematics that are going to, show off a little bit more about it being the World Cup, maybe getting to each of the stadiums, maybe arriving on the bus. I don't know. That's all conjecture from me. Feel part of the team with press conferences and training sessions. Awesome. This is something that me and Bears actually discussed in a big video that's out on the channel. You can go watch that as well, which was our wish list of what we wanted to be included in the game and things like that. We wanted to be involved with and feel like you're really getting immersed in the game because it's such a big part of doing a career mode rather than just playing game after game after game. Exclusive commentary that will allow you to fully immerse yourself in the Rugby World Cup. Again, hopefully going to be talking about, what stage that we're into the semi-finals, we're into the final, rather than it being the generic same content that you get to see from game to game. Thousands of players licensed with photogrammetry. I can't say that word. My brain can't read that one at all, but I know what they mean. Of course, we knew that they were going to be doing a lot of the sort of photo renditions of all the players and stuff, which is probably what's taken the game so long to get out. But thousands of players, that sounds awesome. We're going to get some hopefully some really good looking character models. Major rugby nations including France, Ireland, South Africa, New Zealand, England, Wales, Scotland, and Australia. Now, up until now, I think the only teams that have been mentioned previously have been France, Ireland, Ireland, South Africa, and New Zealand. I think this is the first time they've actually sort of mentioned England, Wales, Scotland, and Australia, even though you'd sort of imagine they would be in the game. I mean, if they're going to be getting a lot of the World Cup teams, but I think that's the first time I've actually seen them written down. No mention of Argentina there, considering that they've got 3 of the 4 rugby championship sides in there, and no Italy, considering they've got 5 of the Six Nations teams there. Maybe they just ran out of room. I would like to hope that's the reason they haven't just skipped them out on purpose. The biggest tournaments from around the world, including Rugby World Cup, French Top 14, and D2 Major League Rugby United Rugby Championship. So as we sort of read up there, they've put it again, even more, doubling down on the same information from them. All Rugby World Cup stadiums modelled in extreme detail. Awesome. That's what we want to see. We got a little bit bored from Rugby 20 and Rugby 22 of those same sort of generic stadiums. It'd be nice to have all of the World Cup stadiums and maybe some of the landmark sort of, stadiums that you get to see from the Rugby Championship, the Six Nations, stuff like that. I would like to see them in there as well, hopefully, but no mention of them. Only World Cup stadiums. But, modelled in extreme detail, awesome. Let's see what that looks like. Follow your journey from club rugby to the international scene, developing your skills and increasing your following. Now that to me doesn't read like you're in charge of a club. That to me reads more like you are on a journey from club level to the international scene and improving your skills. Maybe like be a pro, create a player. That's what that tends to lend itself to me in my brain, but let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Rugby 24 gives you more control over your career than ever before. You determine your destiny, decide the path of your skill and physical development while balancing your reputation on and off the field in press conferences and interviews. Again, that for me is pushing be a pro. It's saying, what position do you want to play in? What attributes are you picking? What are you increasing in your training sessions? Are you getting faster to be on the wing? Are you getting more powerful to be involved in that scrum? And then you get to do things like, on and off the field press conferences and interviews, get that big following. We're on YouTube. We know what that's like, trying to get subscribers and stuff. Completely cross-platform. Play online against your friends' best players in the world, regardless of their platform. They did mention the cross-platform. I really hope that is in the game. Create and share custom content across platforms such as stadiums, players, teams, and more with community features. That is what we wanted to see. That is the big thing that people were talking about when bigantstudios were taking over this. The ability to have that community feature, building players, building teams, building stadiums. I'm well up for that. I'm well up for spending some time building my own stadium and making the Mad Dragon Stadium. I hope that is in the game because that sounds great. All new in Rugby 24, collect star cards and build your star team. Now, I assume all new, I assume it means they're going to be using the card system that we sort of got to have in Rugby 22, but developing on it, and it'll probably be more in line with what we get to see with something like FIFA Ultimate Team is what I personally am hoping. I have been seeing on the Discord server, quite a few of you guys actually were like, you know what, I don't want to see that Ultimate Team sort of style in the game. I personally wouldn't mind it. I think I would quite enjoy it as long as it was based around the game itself. There's not going to have to be, you have to pay real money to buy packs or anything. Don't want to do any of that. Keep it all in-game currency. Buy and sell players on that, absolutely fine with me, but as long as you don't have to include microtransactions. Take on weekly challenges in single-player game modes or take on the online world. So maybe that just means online challenges or single player challenges. I would kind of like it if there was like a community event, who can score the most points in a single game, and then you would have like a leaderboard of who managed to score the most points. I think that would be great fun to maybe have like a worldwide one challenge, either you work community together or community against each other. I would quite like that for an online challenge as opposed to just win 3 online games, something sort of boring like that. And then finally, join your friends to compete in team building in the auction mode. Get a jump start on building your team with the Ultimate Edition retail pack featuring a starter kit containing exclusive card packs high level. So what on earth does this mean? Join your friends to compete in team building in the auction mode. Very, very interesting to see what that means. Of course, this is translated from Spanish to English. It might be slightly off in what they mean. To me, I'm guessing that means like an auction house to buy and sell players. Like if you had, duplicates of a card, you could sell one, try and get some currency back to buy other ones. I'm sort of hoping that's what they mean by the auction mode. I don't really know how you'd work with friends to build an auction mode. I'm guessing that's more of a linguistics thing. And then get a jumpstart on your building your team with the Ultimate Edition retail pack, which, either means there's going to be different editions of this game, which would be mind-blowing considering we've had no information about the game. I still cannot pre-order this game on Steam for PC. We don't even have box art. The idea that there could be different editions of this game would be insane. So I'm assuming that's going to be like a DLC thing or like a pre-order bonus that might give you some in-game currency early on, some in-game packs a little bit earlier on to try and give you a little boost at the start. I cannot believe that means there'll be a pricier Ultimate Edition of the game itself. I assume it's a little bit of extra content that you have to buy or something. Don't know if I'll be doing that. Might do for the channel if you guys want to see it. We'll see what that comes out cost-wise in real money, because there's no way that's going to be free. But really fun to know that there's some new information out the game. Like I said, this actually came from the guys over in our own Discord server. You guys found this before us. You provided it out. Bears Gamers checked out one website. I have checked out another. They are overlapping with their information, which is really nice to see that multiple sites are picking this up. I will also point out, which I don't think it is. I don't think it is in any way. I believe in the video me and Bears did, we discussed almost all of these points in terms of our wish list. This, if it all happens and it's all exactly that, this is going to sound like one of my perfect rugby games ever. But I believe me and Bears basically covered every aspect of this. So I'm really hoping this is, you know, a bit of an advertisement pack behind the scenes, and that is what's going to be in the game. And me and Bears have just called this bang on correct of what is going to be in this game, and not that sort of a Spanish retailer called our video and thought we were in some way involved with actually sort of marketing this game and took our words and turned it into their own description. I hope it's not that. I also don't believe it's that, but it would be wild because we really discussed almost all of these things in that video, so I'm hoping that's what it is. And if it is, this could turn out to be a really awesome game. But I love the idea that it's on multiple websites and multiple people are picking it up, because that sort of lends itself to be a little bit more likely that that's what we'll get. And a lot of these things are quite detailed, to the point that, like, this would be a wild call to just make this up on the spot. I feel like this has got a good chance of actually being including a lot of these things in the game. Rugby 24 is still quiet. Nacon is still quiet. You guys are asking me daily for more information. So unfortunately, we're not getting anything from those guys. We'll have to see what comes out this week. But hopefully this is enough to tie you guys over for now. Of course, when the game does come out, whenever it comes out, if it gets delayed or if it's still going to be January 30th, one thing I'll point out, actually, this site with this updated information still has the release date of January 30th. So that's a positive, that they've got more updated information with that set date. So it's still looking good to be the 30th. We'll have to see if we get any news before that game comes up. But you know, on that day, content will be flying out on my channel. And of course, we'll be doing a live stream that evening. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you know as soon as those videos are out and you can check out some Rugby 24 content. I hope you've all enjoyed this one today, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.